Hi everyone, welcome to Luna Divination Tarot. Really excited to be here with you today for another pick card reading. Thank you for joining me today. So today we are going to be looking at, are they still thinking of me? Do they miss me? And is there any second chances? So when I started mixing the decks, which I did earlier, I did half of each pile and then the third bit, is there a second chance, came in afterwards. So I'm going to read probably in order of each pile, but maybe when I pick up I'll decide. It might, sometimes you feel that different cards want to come in different order than the ones they were dealt in. So obviously if you're at this reading, you might be feeling a bit confused about a relationship you have with someone. As with all of these situations, if you've been sitting, obsessing, driving yourself insane, the best advice is to go and have the conversation with the person you're asking about. But if that's feeling too difficult at the moment, take some time and hopefully there's some good advice here. Of course, if it's a difficult conversation, it might be you need to go and do some extra healing work on strengthening your voice, feeling allowed to speak authentically and standing in your power, which even if that isn't an issue, I would always encourage because we can never have quite enough of that strength. So take some time to tune in, quiet your mind and think about the person that you're interested in, that you're asking about today, and take some time to tune in to your higher self and ask for the guidance, which is for the best and greatest healing for both of you. And then tune into whichever crystal and pile you feel most drawn to. So this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. So then in the description box below are the timestamps for when each of the readings start. There's also information about private readings, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, there's links there as well. Any donations are incredibly appreciated. Every bit of help from you guys helps me to build a community that's hopefully going to help as many people as possible. So without further ado, let's crack on with this reading. Are they still thinking of me? Do they miss me? And is there any chances? Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. If you've chosen pile 1, you've chosen this gorgeous rose quartz heart. So hopefully there's some good heart healing in this reading. So let's find out. Are they still thinking of you? Do they miss you? And is there any second chances? So I'm going to start with... first of all, so there's some messages from which are channeled written messages. So the first one up is, scared, this is all a fantasy in my head and you don't feel the same. Next up, you want more than I'm prepared to give. So if you're in a situation where maybe both of you are in a bit of fantasy land at the moment, it would be really good, I think, to get a bit grounded and check if you've got unrealistic expectations, not just in that person that you're inquiring about, but about relationships in general. I mean, we've all grown up with quite an incredible media industry, which has, delivered us quite ridiculous ideas of what it means to be in love and how, every film you've ever watched, there's got to be some grand struggle before we are allowed to have love. And this person might be kind of going through the decoding themselves of thinking, oh God, hang on, I've got unrealistic expectations. A lot of people feel they are scared to get into relationships because, at first we project onto each other and then maybe they fear that you're seeing them for somebody that they're not actually, and they might be scared of that. Let's have a look. But I think they do miss you and would like to see you because it says, let's be naughty. Oh, that's a nice card. So, interestingly, next up in the tarot cards, you've got the 7 of Cups in reverse, which is, in this way up, this is having lots of options, but it can be daydreams, fantasy, illusion. This way round, it's coming out of fantasy. And with that, it can be an aspect of delusion. So this might be what they're going through. Maybe they were really into you first of all, and maybe, they were thinking, oh God, this person's too good to be true. And they might have got a bit scared and they've thought, right, I need to ground this. And if that is the case, if you're feeling that, maybe you're mirroring each other, which would be kind of interesting because, you might have been thinking, I need all of these things, I need the golden cups and the golden winds and, this amazing partner that will look incredible to everyone. And then they're thinking, God, I can't be everything to everyone at one time. And also, sometimes we get into relationships for the wrong reason. Sometimes we want somebody on our arm because they'll look impressive to other people and they'll photograph well on Instagram, and they'll be a great partner when we go to weddings and, people take photos of us. And it might be that, that might all be too much for them if they're in a period of disillusionment, when they're maybe getting down to the nitty gritty and thinking, hang on, what really are my values and what really gives me happiness in life? Is it all this charade, or is it actual genuine connection? Next up, so we've got the 9 of Wands here, which is the card of feeling overburdened. I always see this card as sort of the battle-weary soldier. So they might have been going through a lot of stuff, possibly with this fantasy. If they're breaking down this fantasy here and they're feeling disillusioned, they might kind of be feeling just totally overburdened. The 9 of Wands in many ways the card of when you've been trying to strive for a goal, and you keep getting battered and knocked down, and you have to get up again, and you're at sort of breaking point where you're thinking, oh God, not one more difficulty. I just don't think I have the energy for that. So it could be, maybe they've had, quite a few difficult relationships in the past, maybe kind of demanding partners who wanted them to be something they're not. And then maybe they're feeling, oh God, is this person, going to do the same to me again? And I just don't have the energy for that, and I don't feel I can do it. But also the 9 of Wands can be like a lot of sexual energy. So it could even be, it can be sexual energy to the point of burnout. So it might be that the two of you have had quite a hot relationship, shall we say, and maybe they might be feeling they need some sexual TLC, and you might be the person that they want to do that with. So the question of are they missing you? Are they thinking about you? I definitely do think that they are. And then you've got the High Priestess there. So this is somebody that's secretive. Maybe I feel like they don't want to share too much at the moment. Maybe you're feeling that you have no idea how they feel about anything. They might not be speaking honestly. They might not be speaking clearly. With this, maybe you've got someone that is just not up for anything committed at the moment, and maybe you walked away because you were feeling you didn't want a secret relationship. You didn't want to feel that you were, not it wasn't out in the open, because maybe you felt they were hiding something. And rather than maybe them hiding something or wanting you to be a secret because they don't want their friends or loved ones to know about you, they just might want to take it slow, because I think they've probably been burned quite badly in the past and are maybe just a bit tired. They haven't quite recovered. It may be when they're saying, let's be naughty and you want more than I'm prepared to give. It could be that this has just been a physical relationship rather than something that has progressed into an emotional connection, and maybe you're wanting something emotional, but if they're being like this, closed off and quiet, they just might not be emotionally available yet. And even then, I'm just seeing this when I was talking about sex, there's always this BJ thing that I see here, so maybe they are just wanting sort of sexual pleasures without any other form of commitment. And next up we have the 6 of Wands, which is, interestingly, when I just said about not wanting to make it public, in the 6 of Wands in the upright, this is a card of public recognition, of victory, of things being out in the open and publicly received and publicly public victory. But in this way, it feels like they're resisting wanting to make it resisting wanting to make it public, which might be quite difficult for you. I have a feeling that maybe you wanted commitment and they're not prepared to give it at this stage. But they are saying stick it out. So it could be that they want you to stick with them. Maybe they're thinking they're tired at the moment, but just give them a bit more time. Maybe they just don't know how they feel, and maybe they're worried that this is all in their head, and if they're worried that it's all in their heads, it must be quite scary for them to be able to invest emotionally. So maybe they're waiting for you to tell them your secrets of how you feel, and that will open the door. If you're feeling too scared to tell them how you feel, that's you being as emotionally unavailable as they are. And I know it might be because you fear rejection, because maybe you've been feeling, maybe they've already told you this, and that's what, you maybe felt they were a bit cold and not that interested. But you know what? Sometimes we have to take a risk, and you can drive yourself insane by waiting forever and thinking, oh God, they're the one that has to make the move. I'm not allowed to do that, which really is nonsense, because, if they turn around and say no, at least and you're not sitting here on, tarot card readings, driving yourself insane, thinking, God, if only I knew the truth. Then it says, they also say, your hunches are worth listening to. Go with your gut. So if your gut is saying, do you know what, I do think that this person has more feelings for me than maybe they're willing to admit at the moment, tell them, be the adult, be the one that is the one to start things. Because you know what, quite often in gendered relationships, we think that the other one is the one that has to do it, because we have this whole thing about the chaser and the chasee and the runner. But take some initiative. I mean, look what we have here. You are my dream. I want you to be my reality. This is so nice with this scare. This is a fantasy. So on some level, they are feeling that you're an incredible dream. And if you want to come out of being a dream and into a reality, take initiative, take the step into your power. And if you've had a fight recently, or there's been some sort of difficulty, I forgive you. Let's move on from this issue and build a better relationship together. Maybe things just aren't moving as fast as you want, but because this is at the 9 of Wands, the next card, the 10, that's the end of a cycle. So this period of being overburdened, this person is working through it. They're going to come to the end of it. They're resisting this victory, but they do want victory. There's just maybe not time right now, just that I feel like this victory is still in the ground. The seed is planted. It needs nurture. It needs time. You don't get angry at an oak tree that it's still an acorn. You think, oh, well, that's going to be amazing. So interesting. I've just got 2 lyric cards, which are here from David Bowie's We Could Be Heroes, which is, you will be queen and I will be king, and nothing will keep us together. So the fear, I think that this is probably what they want, but they fear maybe your communication at the moment, maybe you've been bickering, maybe they're just thinking, God, we're both too stubborn, we're both not moving, and they think, oh, nothing will keep us together. And, maybe that's where you're at as well. But that's probably because, there's too much resistance between the two of you. I don't feel that this person is going to be the one to move first, because they've got the 7 of Swords in reverse. So this is a card of, you might have been thinking they've been quite sneaky because maybe they were being quiet and secretive, but actually, rather than it was maybe that they were seeing lots of people or not interested, they might have just been hiding away because they're dealing some stuff themselves and they don't want you to see it. I think they might have a bit of fear of really showing you who they are. They might have a bit of a fear of admitting to themselves who they really are. But the fact that this is in the 7 of Swords, this can be, I see it as a releasing of this energy here, of having to hide, of having to escape, of having to be, maybe they played some games, some mind games in the past, and they kind of realised, you know what, all of this is really, really tiring and leaving me battered. So I feel like they're ready to put down this sort of old pattern. And then the next lyric you get is, break on through to the other side by the doors. So you had to stick with it, didn't you? Stick it out. I feel like a victory is so, where's it gone? Oh, Mr. Victory. I feel like a victory is so much closer than you realise. And if you throw it away now, you're going to think forever, God, maybe that person was the one that got away. But I think maybe you need to be the one to put down your pride and put down your illusions and see what this really is. Because you've got romantic feelings in the reverse. So both of you are maybe trying to fight your romantic feelings. But I think, also this could be that the romantic feelings of the past have kind of, you're maybe both worried that they're gone away. But I think they're still lurking here, I think, and I know it sounds really scary to be the one to have to admit that, God, I do have feelings for you and I want something more than this. But there's also religious factors here. So it could be you both have sort of You know, what I got there actually is maybe one of you was pushing, you wanted to go to a marriage, some form of commitment like that, and you're thinking, God, why don't you want to marry me and make it public? They're just not there yet. You know, they're feeling really overburdened by something else in life. Give them time to do some healing. Do some healing work as well about why you need it. Because are you actually wanting, if it is like a marriage or a public commitment or some sort of religious thing like that, are you wanting it for the right reasons or to impress everybody else? Are you wanting it because you think, oh, right, well, if I get married, then I'm accepted, and that must mean I'm validated? Because if you get married for the wrong reasons at the wrong time to the wrong person, you're just going to give yourself a lifetime of hurt. So slow down, you know, and it could be there's some negative sexual connotation from your religious upbringing. It could even be, you know, that it's sort of, if you're not a religious person, you know, it could be something cultural, or could even be sort of religious trauma passed down in your genetic line. You know, if you had family ancestors that were absolutely terrified of God, absolutely terrified of sex, absolutely terrified of, being sent to hell for love, you know, all of that is stuff that you can work on inside yourself to see what's underpinning, what's in the unconscious. So that's your pile. So the question, are they still thinking of you? They are. Do they miss you? I would say yes. Is there a second chance? Yes, but I think you're going to have to be the one to grow up, be the adult, tell them what they want, and give them some time to grow into it. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Pile 1, thank you so much for stopping by. Be great to see you again for another reading. I really hope that was helpful. So please comment down below if anything resonated with you. And if you have any other topics for readings you'd like me to tap into, I would absolutely love to help. So take care. Have a wonderful day. Lots of love. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Your Pile 2, if you got this gorgeous, I think it's aventurine. Never quite sure, but it's beautiful. So this is obviously a general reading. If there's things in it which don't resonate, if they don't resonate, let it fly. You can always go and try another pile. But let's crack on. So the person you're inquiring about, do they still think of you? Do they miss you? And is there a second chance? So first I've got, it's a mixture of cards, some which are channeled messages. The first one that comes out is, I want to get to know the real you. So maybe you've been, you know, it can be quite hard when you're first dating, or, you know, we're all wearing masks a lot of the time. So maybe you've been scared to reveal this to you, but look at this. You are the partner of my dreams. So are they thinking of you? Do they miss you? Do they want a second chance? Pretty sure that they do, straight up. But you're never there when I need you. So it could be, I want to get to know the real you. You might be sitting on social media projecting a life, and maybe you've been sitting in bed together and you've been, texting or Instagramming, and they've had a really tough day and you've been absorbed in your phone, so not even noticed that they're really suffering and they need your help. Or it could be vice versa as well. So that might be part of the reason that was a separation, and they might be so hurt by that. So you've got the 6 of Cups here. So again, I mean, this straight up, I'm feeling this pile is very much that they do want a second chance, because this is the card of offers, balanced offers. It's sort of like, a nostalgia and almost like childhood sweethearts. It's kind of a soulmate card. It's that sort of blissful, like teenage love, the sort of love, your first love before you get hurt by anybody. And this is about wanting to make an offer. So they might want to make an offer, or they might be waiting for you to make an offer. So if you want to go and make an offer and say, do you know what, I know that I didn't get to show you the best of myself, or maybe not even the best of myself. Maybe were hiding who you really are. Maybe you never wanted them to see when you're hurt. Maybe you were being, hiding because you were scared that if you were to really open up when you were hurting, that they would reject you and they would run away. Which, I mean, this seems to me like something they absolutely wouldn't do. That's what they're craving. They want that true intimacy. They want the good, the bad, the ugly, Bad Romance by Lady Gaga just came to my mind there. So maybe go and listen to that. I mean, it's a cracker of a song, isn't it? Great lyrics. And that song's all about, I don't just want the good bit. I love you so much. I want your shadow side. And then you've got temperance. So this is about flow in a relationship. So there might have been resistance, there might have been blockages, but they're ready. They want to open up the channels of communication here. They want that flow. They want that heart-to-heart connection. They want those deep, meaningful conversations. You know, this is, and if, you know, yeah, this is gorgeous, these two together. You look, see? Oh, and also, you know what? This could be a bit of a divinely led partnership, because look at this cup that's being offered, and then these cups pouring in between here. And actually, when I see this cup, I know it's meant to be like a Sagittarius cup, but actually I get an Aquarius feel because the water power. So it might be that you're dealing with a Sagittarius and Aquarius. But yeah, offer them a cup, ask them out for a cup of coffee, ask them out for a drink, you know. And then look, I've got the 9 of Swords in reverse. So they might have been having a lot of sleepless nights. And also it might be when they say you are the partner of my dreams. Like literally they're thinking about you so much that they are dreaming about you, and it might have been driving them insane, because maybe they're waking up in the morning or in the middle of the night, and you know, sometimes they might be having such sort of vivid dreams that then they think they've really been with you, and then they probably wake up and feel absolutely terrible. They might also be thinking about a lot of things from the past, but also this, if they have been having a period of this difficult, you know, this is like lots of sleepless nights because of nightmares and pains. They're ready to come out of that. They don't want sleepless nights. I mean, they probably want sexy time sleepless nights, but they don't want agonizing sleepless nights without you there. And also, you know how I was saying earlier about maybe you were sitting in bed and not paying attention to them. I mean, I feel like this might be what was happening actually, and that's them before. But then they've gone away and they're dreaming about you, and they're thinking, oh God, but why do I still want this person? Because I felt like that, because they were never there for me when I was having such a difficult time. So I think, you know, this is where there's open communication, there's heart to heart. And when you talk about this with this person, or they talk about it with you, don't take it personally. Put down your guard, put down your pride, put down your anger, and just really see the person's soul, not their ego, and see what they need. Because, you know, for us to truly love each other, we have to get rid of all that, you know, crap that we kind of get conditioned. And then there's a 5 of Wands. So this has been, I think you probably have had a bit of a difficult time, stiff competition, fighting, a bit of unrealistic expectations, maybe fighting about the material world. So it could be that you were having, you know, fights about maybe different values, or wanting to do different things. You know, maybe one of you was going out a lot and having great times with, you know, with their group of friends, going out for, you know, effectively clubbing. Maybe you were going out clubbing a lot and they were sat at home on their own, freaking out that you were cheating on them, and you know, and then they're so hurt by that. So maybe that's for some people. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Actually, I didn't feel. I know it was reversed, but I feel like it shouldn't be now. And then you've got the Lovers. So, you know, this is beautiful. Look, here we have this angel pouring the cups, trying to get you guys to come and see each other again. So that, you know, the Lovers is a card of love, but it's also a card of choices. So it might be that, you know, they're like, oh, you know, you go out so much, you spend not that much time with me, you know, and they're kind of asking you, you know, if you really want to move on. Do you want to move on to like a better stage of life where you have this amazing intimacy connection, or do you want to just keep going out with all your friends all the time? Because also if you're going out with the friends all the time, maybe again you're taking lots of photos and portraying a lifestyle which they don't feel is really you. Oh my goodness. So it's got the card Get More Vitamin D, which I see as originally a card about get some more sunshine. You might be having quite a bit of depression, so vitamin D is really good, particularly if you're, you know, it's winter, you're living in cold climes, and you can get that from most sort of pharmacies or drugstores or health stores. But then after I wrote it, I realised get more vitamin D, it's quite a sexual innuendo, isn't it? So, and that's particularly after the Lovers. Here we have these lovely naked lovers. So maybe you guys need to make up and go and enjoy each other's bodies and really get that intimacy. And maybe, you know, could even be like fighting. They might have just been feeling really jealous. Maybe you get a lot of attention from, you know, other people. And maybe they were just finding that really, really difficult to deal with, how much attention you get. Oh, this is beautiful. Please try again. I'm ready now. So are they thinking about you? Do they want you? Is there a second chance? They're asking for one. And look, I can't get no satisfaction. That's the card of the lyric from Come On Brain, We Can Do It, Rolling Stones song. So, you know, or maybe you've been feeling like this. Maybe you've been watching them. Maybe you've been watching their social media at night and you're seeing them like out clubbing, out seeing people, and you're thinking like, oh God, they must have moved on. They've got so much attention. But actually, they're saying, okay, I might be doing that and I might be posting things to try and make you jealous if we're in separation, but I can't get no satisfaction. I want this. I want you. You're the partner of my dreams. I want it to be reality. Come on, guys. That's gorgeous. Is that not gorgeous? Oh, guys, I'm really excited for you. I hope you're excited by this. And then we've got 3 more cards. So we've got children in the reverse. So maybe you have thought, because there was questions about children maybe separated because one of you wanted children, the other said they weren't ready, and now they're saying, please try again. I'm ready now, because there's some form of resistance here. Maybe this is part of the reason that there's this sort of divine intervention, because there's some beautiful children that are meant to come in for some of you. And if it's not children, this could be that there's childhood issues. This could be that, you know, the fights you're having are based from childhood wounds. So go and do your inner child work. And both of you probably need to do your inner child work. But rather than having to do it separately, you probably could do it together. And then you've got, codependency. What was I just saying about this is really clear to me. So codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. So codependency is all to do with attachment trauma in childhood. So go and look at some videos on attachment trauma to find out what type of attachment style you have. People, you know, there's the kind of main ones are secure attachment. Those are for people that have, you know, like good childhood, they had a balanced relationship with their parents and they're able to easily and securely form, you know, intimate relationships. There's avoidant attachment, avoidant and anxious attachment for people that are kind of codependent, or you know, people that avoid intimacy, have commitment issues. So, and commitment issues is a form of codependency. So it could be that this person was not wanting to commit in the way you wanted them to. And they might be needy and then pulling away, and then needy and then pulling away. So yeah, it could be some therapy might be really helpful here. You could even go and do some couples therapy together. And then lastly, there is the Page of Swords. So this is a card of gossip. So I, you know, going back to this storyline, which probably applies for some of you, but not all. You know, maybe there's been gossip online, maybe they've been hearing gossip, maybe they've been asking their friends all the time, oh God, have they moved on, what's going on? And this is, you know, sort of stirrings of negative thinking. But it also can be, now is the time, let's brush away the clouds, let's get rid of the cobwebs, let's speak truthfully from, you know, calm, logical place. Let's get some excitement and some new ideas in. It's pile 2. Yes, they're thinking about you. Yes, they haven't moved on from you. You know, maybe they're going out and seeing other people, but you know, they can't get no satisfaction. You're the one that they want, and I think they definitely want a second chance. So I would recommend, if they're not coming forward, you be the one to go and talk to them. I think there's real potential for something really, really beautiful here if you want to take the chance. So if this has been anything has resonated with you, please comment below. I'd love to hear if it was helpful. And if you have any ideas for any other readings you'd like me to have a go at, I would love to help you. So thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I look forward to seeing you at another reading. All the best. Lots of love. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You've chosen this gorgeous bit of amethyst. I love this guy. So let's crack on with your reading. So this is, are they still thinking of you? Have they moved on? Is there any second chances? So let's have a look. First of all, the first question is, so I've got some cards which are channeled messages. I'm kind of involved with someone else. I'm sure that's not exactly what you wanted to hear, but it's good to know if that is the case. And it says, I'm sorry, I keep pushing you away. I don't know why I do it. So I feel like this is somebody that, you know, maybe you've wanted some commitment from, but they just they come close to you, and then as soon as they get close, they freak out and go away, and maybe you like sleep together, and then they're like all over you, and then you know, go out back into the public world and they keep you at an arm's length. Or maybe they call lots and then suddenly they'll go quiet. Maybe they ghost you after a wee while. Maybe they're really nice to you and cozy when you're around, and then as soon as they're friends or your friends, they then put you back into more of a friend zone, which is probably quite exhausting. So yeah, we've got the Hermit here in reverse. So I think maybe this is someone that maybe you've been in a bit of separation from. Maybe you put them on ice, maybe they put you on ice, maybe you blocked each other for a wee while, or just this whole like ghosting and then coming back and then talking. And then you've got the Page of Cups in reverse. So I mean, I feel like any offers they've been making you are immature, probably quite childish, you know, kind of playful energy, but you can tell that nothing else is coming from it. It could even be that they made an offer in the past and you rejected it, or you made them an offer and it was rejected. With both of these, feeling it might be a water sign, could be a Virgo. It's quite classic Pisces, so it could be you've been feeling that they've been a bit of a slippery fish. So you've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. So I wonder if that's how they see you. You might have, you know, if this person has been ghosting you and giving you crap, you might have just been like, right, that's it, I'm not doing this anymore. And of course then maybe they come back around like weeks or months later, and then you're like, oh, okay, because they'll like be playful and silly, and they, you know, they have quite childlike energy maybe, and then you get excited and you think, oh god, you know, they're probably a bit of a charmer, they know what to say to get you to get you to be friends with them again. And then you think, oh, that sort of initial stages, maybe they give you a bit of like a, you know, when you first start to fall for someone, you get all those butterflies and excitement, and they might know exactly how to push your buttons to get that, and then you're hoping that it develops further. But this person's just, they don't grow up. They're not emotionally mature enough to be able to offer you more than, you know, a slippery fish who jumps out the cup as soon as the cup gets offered to you. And so you're, you know, like if this is the pairing here. Okay, well, I mean, this is an interesting thing here with these two. I feel like part of them is very immature, but then there's another part of them which is like feeling old and weary as hell. It's almost like there's this place in between is missing. The young, sort of grounded adult isn't there. So I feel like maybe they're carrying some baggage from like way back. Could be some baggage that's been put on them from their father, from their grandfather. It could be ancestral. It could even be past life stuff. And that's kind of keeping them in suspended animation. There could be it could just be an enormous fear of growing up. And so just want to be the playboy, don't want to have commitment, but want to have all this sort of trappings. I just got a lyric from Billie Eilish song, which is call me friend, but keep me closer. So I have a feeling that's maybe what's kind of going on there with you a bit. And that's just making you, you know, shut off, go, not wanting to like you're turning your back on them now. Because I think there's something about this that you keep seeing probably the potential of it and thinking, but unfortunately I think the potential might be a little bit more in your head than actually in reality. Like you can see, God, if this person would grow up, they'd be brilliant. But I think unless something happens where this person has to care for someone else, they're not going to turn up into a partner that is worthy of the Queen of Swords, which I think that's how they see you. Maybe there's an age gap, but even if there's not, they see you as far more mature. There could even be, because they're a child, that, you know, they might have some sort of mother issues. And if you're quite straight talking and like to the point, you know, Pisceans are inherently like, they cannot cope with criticism at all. They really can't. I know it sounds kind of harsh. A lot of the time they live in a fantasy land and they don't want to hear the truth. You know, the fantasy is nicer than the reality. Whereas you might be quite straight talking and be like, hey, hang on, let's get to the nitty gritty. And that, you know, they might find that really difficult, particularly if they had a parent who was quite straight talking, and maybe they felt, you know, this energy, the Queen of Swords, can feel very critical. And even if it's not, even if you're just trying to say, hang on, this is my value, this is what I want in a relationship, even if that's you standing up for yourself, they might be perceiving it as somehow a criticism of them. And if that is the case, that that's just a show of that they're too emotionally immature. And then you've got the Justice in reverse. So I have a feeling that maybe you're still interested in them because you still think that there's some fantasy that you're interested in, and you feel it's an injustice that you haven't got your way, and this thing that you probably want so much isn't happening. But actually, I don't think that you will get justice in the way that you want, or whether it's actually the correct thing. Look, there's some refusal to see the truth. You've got the two swords here. You're pointing your sword up, Justice is pointing their sword down, and it's like, it feels like, Caesar would thumb up, thumb down. So you're saying yes, let's go, but it's almost like the universe, the energy is saying, no, this isn't the one, sis. So, too many tarot cards, too much confusion. Get offline, relax, rest, and rejuvenate. My dear friends, are you just bouncing from reading to reading because you're feeling, obviously I think you're feeling like, confused because you maybe have this idea that somehow this is an injustice and I will win this time, which says a bit, actually, do you know what? If this person is being emotionally immature and inaccessible, it could be that you're the one with some sort of parental issue, maybe father issues here. Maybe you had an emotionally unavailable father, and that's why you kind of go for people that are emotionally available, even though they're absolutely not right for you, and you can never win against this. And maybe you kind of shut your heart off a little bit, and you're trying to use your logic to try and win this time. It's like they call it the epic win in video gamings, where it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, you're gonna get up and you're gonna win. And Justice is saying, no, you're not gonna win, you're looking in the wrong direction, this ain't it, and you're confusing yourself, and you need to, and you're probably, this Queen of Swords is someone that is incredibly bright, just has such a keen, sharp mind, but also can be a bit of an energy of been there, done that, and tires, gets mentally overwrought, and I get sort of brain fry. And I have a feeling you might be in that at the moment. So, obviously finish the rest of the reading first, darling. But yeah, because this also, if you're watching too many tarot readings, is a form of codependency, and codependency is exactly something that comes out of issues with childhood attachment trauma, particularly if you had sort of emotionally unavailable parents, and she can be emotionally, if you're dealing with someone emotionally unavailable, it's a reflection of your own emotional inavailability, and you need to heal that, because that's the only thing that's going to change it. Oh my god, what was I just saying about codependency? I'm sorry I'm being so codependent and needy. Please be gentle with me. So yeah, maybe also you're feeling that this you're feeling in the relationship more like you're being a mother to this child, and that's not sexy for you at all, and that's what ended it. Well, yeah, it's because this person you've chosen hasn't dealt with their mummy stuff, or their daddy stuff, or they're just parents. Look at this wee person. If this is a parental reading, they literally haven't been taught to love. These are two parents who are completely emotionally unavailable. One shut off, distant, probably living in their own world, maybe an academic, someone like that, just working in their own world. The child kept coming and saying, "Oh, Daddy, please can you play?" And Daddy's just away dreaming, being a philosopher. And then Mummy's being critical and just brushes off their concerns. Probably every time they came with some sort of feeling, Mummy just brushed it off and said, no, that's not it. Oh my goodness, I suddenly feel really, really sad for this person, actually. Yeah, I think this person, they don't know what else to do. I feel like they've got a lot of inner child healing to do, it's like really, I suddenly just got overwhelmed by sadness, actually. Wow. Be gentle with this person. They really don't know why they keep pushing you away. Oh, sweet person. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I mean, if you're dealing with a codependent person, you are as well. Oh, I suddenly feel sad for you both. Oh, my sweet loves. Okay, I think you both, like, there's this connection. Both individuals need some serious healing here, my loves. And we can't go on together. And this is we can't go on together with suspicious minds. It's the lyric. So maybe there's just a lot of not trusting each other, not understanding each other's intentions. Could be a breakdown in communication, which would make sense if, if this person has, had a mother who brushed away their concerns all the time. They don't know how to express themselves because there's a good chance they don't even know what they feel, because they haven't actually been taught how to identify their feelings. So it could be that they feel numb, like, this cold, they've been put on ice, they don't know how to thaw out their emotions and feel safe to feel their emotions. And if they can't feel their emotions, they can't feel safe to trust, they can't feel safe to love, they can't do any of that because it's just, there's a mind blank. But look, heart to heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And you might have been sitting there going, God, I want this person to do the one, but they don't know how. And I have a feeling if they're looking up to you, they see that you have this potential, this great heart, which you might just be shutting off at the moment. I think this word thought is coming up. I feel like you might be being a bit of an ice queen. You might be being a bit of an ice queen, and they might be being a bit of a frozen person. So it's time you're both going to have to, the only way to thaw this out is with real heart-to-heart conversations, because I don't think they know how to do it any other way. And you could really be the guide here if you want to be, because there's still passion. There's still passion. You obviously both have a real attraction for each other. So that's, and that doesn't always happen if you've got chemistry and you are attracted to each other, and maybe you need to have more intimacy. Yeah, some more intimate times to really get that heat up and get the thaw on. Because look, also we have the Fool here in reverse, which is, in the upright, this is taking a risk in a new direction. But I feel like they don't want to take that new direction, but also that I think they're very scared to take the risk because they've been hurt so much and they don't trust themselves and they don't trust their feelings. So that's why this very young energy, this kind of childish energy, but there just needs to be integration and healing. And look, there's so much I want to tell you. I'm trying to find the words. Oh, my loves, this is, I feel this was probably the most difficult of the 3 readings. But are they still thinking of you? Yes. Do they miss you? Yes. Do they want a second chance? Yes, but I'm not sure that they're there yet. This is part of it. I feel like maybe this is part of a bit of a self-sabotage. I feel like maybe they like to have surface level relationships which they can easily get out of, where they can keep the power without it getting difficult and intimate. But I think that they, even if they're with someone else, they're still thinking of you, and I think they're still wondering, like, oh, did I make the wrong decision? Should I have taken the risk? So yeah, I think for this to work, both of you would need to do your sort of inner healing work. And if you're scared of being the one to say that, maybe you're scared of saying how you feel to them honestly and from the heart, and you're scared of being rejected. If you are rejected by them, it's not actually personal. They're just not able to, and it could be that it just might not be the right time. But yeah, I think they definitely are still thinking of you and miss you. So thank you so much for stopping by today. Do comment in below if anything resonated, and if there's any other readings you'd like me to give a go to, I would love to help you. So have a lovely day and the best of luck with your healing. Oh, my love. Bye.